Today, we are going to talk about the top 5 things to do in Cuba. Cuba is this amazing island in the Caribbean that has a ton of stuff to see and do, but is a little bit challenging to get there. I was fortunate enough to visit Cuba and I had an incredible time while I was there. I did so many great things, and these are the top 5 things that I most enjoyed and that I think you should definitely do if you ever find yourself in Cuba. If you are interested in knowing how I managed to visit Cuba and are interested in knowing how you can do it as well, then leave me a comment down below and maybe I will make a video about that. Enough chit chat, let's go on to the top 5 things that I think you should do in Cuba. You should definitely take a tour through Havana in one of the old classic cars. There are so many of these cars from the 50s and 60s in Havana, and there are Cubans there who will give you a local tour for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you're able to do this on a budget, and basically you just get to ride in this really cool classic car and get an insider's look into Havana. You get to drive around, see the old buildings of old Havana, and see the newer buildings, and it is really an incredible experience to be able to ride these classic cars, and definitely a must-do when you are in Havana. If you are a lover of nature like I am, then you need to go to Soroa. This area is just so beautiful and filled with waterfalls and rivers and so many plants and trees everywhere, and it's so green and it's so beautiful, and it's definitely somewhere that you just have to see it for yourself because it is spectacular. And you are able to take a dip in the waterfalls, and it's just so refreshing when you're there in the heat of the Caribbean, walking around and just being able to get into this fresh water. It's so refreshing, and it's just such a beautiful thing, and the fact that they're able to conserve this part of the island so well is such an amazing thing, and definitely is a must stop. Foodie lovers, rejoice! In Cuba, there are very fancy restaurants that they call paladares. I think that it's very important for you to stop at one of these paladares because the food is amazing. Generally, it's very gourmet food, but it is Cuban infused with other types of food. There's Asian food that it's infused with. There's a lot of seafood. There's just so many different types of food that you can have, and each one of them is so delicious. I went to a different paladar every single day that I was in Cuba, and it was so worth it and just so delicious. I'm getting hungry right now just thinking about it. A lot of people know about Cuba and its beautiful beaches, and they've heard about the city of Varadero. There are amazing beaches there, but what's cool about Varadero as well is that they have a restaurant there that is all themed after the Beatles, which I love the Beatles, so if you love the Beatles, that's definitely something that you should check out. And when you're done doing that, then for sure head over to the beach at Varadero because the beaches there are just they're crystal blue waters, and it's just so beautiful, and it's definitely worth a stop. The famous author Ernest Hemingway had a house in Cuba and actually lived there for a very long time. And his house is still there, and it has been kept up, and you can actually go and visit it. Unfortunately, you are not able to go inside of the house, but they have all the doors and windows open so you can look inside of the house and get a peek at what it was like to live like Ernest Hemingway in Cuba. And you can also see his boat as well. He had a very, very big swimming pool. This is definitely a really interesting stop, especially if you are a fan of Ernest Hemingway. Those are some of the things that I most enjoyed doing while I was visiting Cuba. As you can see, it is a very interesting place. Please give me a thumbs up if you agree with that statement, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe because I make a whole bunch of videos every single week. If you are already subscribed to my channel, then please don't miss out on any of my videos by hitting the little bell button that's right next to the subscribe button. That means that you'll get a notification every single time I upload a video, and that way you don't miss out on any of them, and you can be there to leave me a comment and I can say, hey, thanks for watching. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I hope that you liked this video. I enjoyed making it, but for now, I am going to go. So I will see you when I see you. Bye! This video was made possible by my patrons over at patreon.com/redromina. If you like what I do, become a patron and be a part of the exploration.